Hello guys, this is Anonymous Masculinity, a new channel that is going to be producing videos for self-improvement, especially for men, because in today's society men are being manipulated to be weak, to become weak, but that is not true. It is not normal for a man to be weak. Today we're going to be talking about the top money lessons every man should learn from Rich Dad Poor Dad. In this video, we delve into the timeless financial wisdom shared in the best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Whether you're just starting your career or looking to enhance your financial literacy, these key money lessons are crucial for every manly man to know. From understanding the difference between assets and liabilities to the importance of financial education and investing for the future, these insights will help you take control of your financial destiny. Watch now to empower yourself with the knowledge needed to build wealth and achieve financial success. Hey man, let's go. If you were to stop working, imagine this to yourself. How long could you survive on your remaining savings? What I just asked you was a definition of wealth. Here is a man named Robert Kiyosaki, an American investor, businessman, author, motivation speaker, and financial commentator who became well known in the recent years, who has an estimated net worth of $80 million. Want to know something interesting? He wasn't raised in a wealthy background. In fact, his family was like most people who work but don't have the best financial education and oftentimes struggled with money. So then, how did Robert become rich today? Let's take a look as he explains in one of his bestsellers called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki was born in Hilo, Hawaii in April 1947. In 1957, at age 9 years to 10 years, Robert was attending the same public school where the rich people sent their children for. His town had lots of doctors, business owners, and bankers. Robert saw that the rich kids would separate themselves from him, for his family wasn't able to afford the newest collections of toys and bikes like them. So one day, Robert asked his father, who had a PhD and completed multiple universities with excellent degrees, "Dad, can you tell me how to get rich?" Unfortunately, his dad didn't know the right answer because he wasn't rich himself, so he responded with, "Well, use your head, son, stay in school, get good grades so you could find a safe and secure job." His real dad is right here referred as Poor Dad. He wasn't poor at this time, in fact. He was making lots of money, but in the end, this man's financial life takes a turn for the worst. Now, little Robert had a friend named Mike, and which Mike's father would be referred as Rich Dad. This Rich Dad started mentoring Robert and his son Mike about how to really become rich. At this point in time, Rich Dad wasn't really rich yet, but soon he came to be one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. So then, what did Rich Dad teach Robert? Rich Dad poured a strong financial foundation into these kids' minds for many important principles. To start off, the first lesson you need to know is you must know the difference between an asset and a liability, and that you need to buy assets. If you want to be rich, this is all you need to know and understand most. You see, the rich acquire assets and the poor and middle class acquire liabilities. But sometimes they think they are assets. The primary cause of financial struggle is simply not knowing the difference between an asset and a liability. Oh, right. You don't even know what an asset or a liability is, don't you? Hey, an asset is something that puts money in my pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of my pocket. For instance, let's try a cash flow pattern for a normal individual. This person right here earns his income from a job as expense, and as expenses are things like food, clothes, entertainment, transportation. And unfortunately, he doesn't have assets, but sure does have liabilities that constantly take money out of his pocket, because things like mortgages, taxes, credit cards, loans, and believe it or not, the house. Now let's take a look at how the cash flow pattern really works for the rich. Instead of looking to earn more money from their normal job as the only source of income, the rich buy and own assets that brings income. Yeah, they buy assets that brings money into their pockets as a form as passive income. Passive income is something that earns money that doesn't require you to trade your time for it. So in other words, you'd be earning money even as you're sleeping. Examples of assets are businesses that doesn't require your presence, such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, income generating real estate, royalties, notes, and anything that has value that produces income. As mentioned before, Poor Dad was making quite a lot of money from his job, but his expenses seemed to keep up with his income, never allowing him to invest in assets. As a result, his liabilities, such as his mortgages and credit card debts, grew greater over time, and this is the fault of having income equals expense and assets is less than liabilities. And sadly, this is what drove Poor Dad into debt even after he passed away. On the other hand, Rich Dad's personal financial statement reflects the result of a life dedicated to investing and minimizing liabilities. So, he has income that is greater than the expense because of his assets are greater than the liabilities. This is practically why the rich are getting richer every time. Their assets generate more than enough income to cover expense with the balance we invested into the asset column. You see, the rich have assets which generate more than enough income to cover expenses with the balance reinvested into the asset column. So they are always getting richer. The asset column continues to grow, therefore the income grows with it. You see, both dads worked, but they have opposing attitudes and thoughts. One dad recommended study hard so you can find a good company to work for, and one dad recommended study hard so you can find a good company to buy. And one dad said, the reason I'm not rich is because I have kids. And the other said, the reason I must be rich is because I have you kids. One said, when it comes to money, play it safe and don't take risks. The other said, learn to manage your risk. One said, I can't afford that. And the other said, how can I afford that? Although both men had tremendous respect for education and learning, they disagreed on what they thought was important to learn. Robert learned from Rich Dad that the truth about the general population, their lives run forever by two emotions, fear and greed. That keeps you stuck in a pattern of get up, go to work, pay bills. Get up, go to work, pay bills. And fear has them in this trap of working, earning money, and hoping the fear will go away of not having money. But instead of confronting their fear, they react emotionally instead of using their heads. The other emotion, which is desire, some call it greed, is the second reason why people also work for money. They desire money for the joy that they think it could bring. But the joy that the money brings is often short-lived and soon needs more money, more joy, more pleasure, more comfort, and more security. You see, the same fear and desire that makes some people, or that makes a lot of people so fanatical about going to school for a better chance or a high-paying job. But don't be discouraged, man. Don't be discouraged, because education and a better chance of a high-paying job are important, yes, but it won't exactly handle that fear. To handle that fear, you need to learn the power of money, not be afraid of it. Unfortunately, most schools don't teach about this, and if you don't learn this, you will become a slave to money. Ignorance of money can cause so much greed and so much fear that can lead you into life's biggest traps of constantly working. Rich Dad said, "Learn how to use your emotions to think, not think with your emotions." Examples of emotional thinking are like, I need to get another job. I deserve a raise. I want this job because it is secured. Instead of clearly thinking like, is there something I'm missing here? This is a reality for most people. Yes, this is a reality for most people. Your profession is your income, but the rich, your asset is your income. Apply these lessons to your life, for if I were to ask you about the definition of wealth, if we were to stop working, imagine this to yourself. If we were to stop working today, how long can you survive on your remaining savings? Okay, guys, I hope this content has been helpful, and I hope you gained something, and see you in the next video. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later. God bless.